Hello, it's Junie, uh, checking in with all of you. I wanted to look at some of the astrology that's been going on um with Virginia. I believe I'm pronouncing her last name Giuffre. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Um, this is her. Uh, this is her natal chart right here. So let's see. She was born August 9th, 1983, in Sacramento, California. She was born at 5:52 a.m., so that puts her sun in the first house, which means that she is in a diurnal chart. She's a would be considered she'd still be considered, I believe, a day chart because her sun is in the first house. But it's more so in the horizon, above the horizon sign. But the sun is peaking up at 5:52 a.m. So I believe if you're born at nighttime, she might kind of be both planets, actually, now that I think about it. Because if you're born, hi, hello, hi, Susie Q. Hey, Chloe Jade, it's so good to see all of you. I wonder why I can't see. Hold on, I'm trying to see the chat. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see all of you. Love all of you very much. Thank you for being here. Hey, Aggie. It's good to see you. Susie Q, it's good to see you. Hey, Blue-Eyed Mama. It's good to see you, sweetheart. So, this is really sad. I was curious, would you guys be interested in doing... See, I get a little nervous with doing spirit boxes with people who have committed, suicide, suey sauce, whatever. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I'm not monetized or anything like that. I don't know if, I mean, YouTube has already kind of come after me already. So unaliving them own selves, doing spirit box sessions in the past with people who have taken their own life. It's been very difficult for me. I end up absorbing a lot of their energy. And I mean, would you guys be interested in a spirit box session from her? Hi, Truck for Autism. It's good to see you. Trucking for Autism. Would you guys be interested in that? I mean, I don't know. I just, yeah, it's, I mean, I'm very curious to see what the spirits have to say about her. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I want to call upon her spirit. I've just had some really intense experiences with people who have unalived themselves, and that energy lingers with me for a long time. So I just want to be careful. We'll figure it out. I'll talk to my mods about it and see how they feel about it, and see if we want to do a spirit box session. But in the meantime, I just wanted to take a look at her astrology. I pulled a couple of different asteroids that we don't usually pull. Okay, like I always pull Algol and crime charts because, Algol is the demon star. Right here, Algol. But I also pulled Capulus. Capulus is another demon star. I mean, I'm not sure if he's a demon, but he's pretty freaking evil. He's just as evil as Algol. They hang out together. They're really close. They're in the same area. And Capulus is about sexual assault, specifically sexual assault. So it's in the 10th house. So that is where she works. So, this Virginia, she claims that she was approached by Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, Maxine, I can't even remember her last name. Is it Maxine Gaswell or whatever? I can't say her name properly. I might be messing up these names. I'm really sorry if I am. But she approached her at work. And with a wound that never heals at work here. So the 10th house is your career, your reputation. The IC line is how the world sees you. So she was having issues with Juno being here. That is definitely, I would say, you know, marital issues here. With Juno at a 0 degrees. So like, that's a beginning and an end with relationships. Now in the 8th house of death, I have a 22 degrees of, it's not an asteroid that I'm used to using, but it is an asteroid about someone who unalived themselves through, just let's put a warning out, guys, for mental health. Can we do that, like my mods? Because I'm going to be talking about asteroids that are about unaliving themselves. So I'm just going to say, please take care of your mental health. We are going to be talking about a dark subject, okay? I mean, I pulled at least 5 asteroids that deal with people who have, you know, harmed themselves in some way. So, please call 988 if you need mental health assistance. I just want to put that, oops, I just lost you guys. Did it take what I just said? No, it didn't. I just typed it in and it didn't take it. Okay, please call 988. 988 is a hotline that you can call. You can text it or you can call it. And they are very nice to talk to. And they'll help you with if you are having any dark thoughts, okay? So I'm just going to put that out. If you need any mental health, HEAL, assistance. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there in the chat, just to be safe, because we are going to be talking about some really dark asteroids. Okay. These are not asteroids that, you know, when you're reading your natal chart that you want to kind of pull up. I specifically looked for these asteroids because they mean death, taking one's own life, okay? So, for instance, this one is Ergon. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's ERIGONE. It's at a 22 degrees, which is a kill, you know, kill or be killed degree, basically, okay? That's a very negative degree to have in the 8th house of death. This is a house of transformation, your sex organs, other people's money, inheritance, things like that. So, and he died by asphyxiation, you know, hanging himself, okay? It's in Pisces. So I'm curious if she struggled with addiction at any point in her life, or if addiction was around her at any point in her life. It also can mean Pisces is the planet of human trafficking, okay? And she was human trafficked. So it also is secret affairs, pillow talk, doing things illegal, doing sex things, you know, illegally, guys. Okay, that's that planet, Pisces. It rules the 12th house, so it's the house of secrets. So, you know, could she have wanted to take her own life? Because could she have been sorry, that's my daughter upstairs, guys. Okay, sorry. So, I mean, she could have been struggling with mental health as well. This is a lot of emotions. you know, as well, just addiction, mental health, you know, conspiracy theories, that's all Pisces, secrets, lies, delusions. So she does have this one asteroid in there that does mean to take, to take one's own life. Let me check my batteries because everything seems to be dying. Like as soon as I plug in and like come live, everything just shuts down. Okay. Hey, Missy, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, thank you so much, Susie Q. I really am thankful that you put that in there because this is kind of dark, okay, guys? And it's not stuff that we normally talk about. Well, I guess we kind of do talk about all things taboo here. Okay, so she's got an interesting chart. One, she's a triple. It looks like she's a triple Leo. Now I looked up a couple of charts online because like sometimes it'll give you like, you know, this is definitely her time of birth, or like you look at another chart and it will be like, you know, like it tells you like, okay, it's pretty close to her birth time. So I'm pretty sure I got pretty close to her birth time. She could be on her moon could be actually on a cusp. I'm not sure though. Right here it's saying that she's 26 degrees. So she's not a full cusp. You're a cusp when you're at 00.00. But I did see a chart online that had her moon at a 0 degrees. Her par of fortune is at a 0 degrees. Her Juno is at a 0 degrees. That is literally, that's tough. You know, it can be tough. I mean, either you can look at it like this. You can either look at it like, oh, wow, it's a new beginning. You know, there's an ending and a beginning. But it's definitely like in crime, when we see that with our victims in crime, I'm usually like, that's a beginning and that's an end for the victim. The victim has gone through some serious transformation because it's right on a cusp when a person is getting ready to cross over, right? Like they've crossed a threshold at a 0 degree. So her par of fortune represents her fortune, her luck, and who she is in a way. And that's at a 0 degrees in the 12th house. So right there, that tells me, you know, that she possibly, I believe she was definitely sexually assaulted, guys. Looking at this chart, I would say she was definitely sexually assaulted. Now, let me just clear the air right here, right now. I do not think Donald Trump is a child molester. I'm just going to say that right now, okay? I do not think Donald Trump is a child molester. However, I do think Donald Trump's astrology has potential of being sexually inappropriate with other women. Women, not children, okay? This chart has hints of her being someone being sexually inappropriate with her as a child. Does that make sense? Okay. So you guys pretty much don't know how I feel about Donald Trump. It's no secret. I've come out about it. I've come out of the closet about it, and I'm not happy with him. However, I do not think that he is a child molester. Okay, I just want to clear that up. Do I think that Donald Trump is involved in all this? I really don't know. Okay, I can tell that there is wealthy men involved here because we got a lot of money with her. Okay, in the second house. I really think that her relationship with her husband and the custody battle with her children may have done her in, okay? And I have Ajax here. Ajax is another, you know, and she's got Aquarius ruling her 7th house. So this is her relationships with others. This is her marriage, and this is her contracts with other people and her open enemies. She's got Black Moon Lilith there. When it's close to a DC line like that, that's, you know, she takes on a lot of characteristics of the Black Moon Lilith as an open enemy. That's probably not the best situation, you know, and it's an Aquarius. That can be some sexually inappropriate things as well. Just things that are shocking, things that will shock you, things that are unexpected, right? Ceres is here. That is an asteroid. Actually, she's a planet, I believe. She's a dwarf planet. She is custody battles. So I believe that Virginia was going through a custody battle, and Ajax is a asteroid that fell on his own sword. He falls on his own sword and sacrifices. Basically, it's another asteroid that we can look at to see about unaliving oneself, and it's right near Ceres, which is a custody battle. So I do believe her marriage and this custody battle, it, you know, and just her being in her head and being emotionally unstable, it may have really have done her in. Okay, and I hate to say that, but I think it has something to do with it. Okay, I have let's see, I pulled up Medusa as well. And Medusa, if you know the story about Medusa, she was sexually assaulted by Neptune. Neptune, you know, came in and sexually assaulted Medusa in the most private and the most sacred place. This is in the sign of Mercury, so this can be in her child, you know, when she's younger. So you think can be like 1 through 12, 13, 14, 15. So I think she was about between 14, 15, or 16 when this happened. I'm not really exactly sure, but I know that Jeffrey Epstein had 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. But this could also be in her younger schooling ages as well. Now, she grew up very poor. She grew up, you know, struggling with her family. That shows up here, her issues with her family. The 4th house, we have Scorpio ruling her 4th house. That is, you know, a lot of transformation. Again, we have 1 degree. Okay, so there's a pattern here, you know, like 0 degrees power of fortune, 0 degrees for her Juno, and 1 degree for her IC line. To me, that is, again, you know, transformative. She went through something. Maybe she was born in a way to rebuild the family, because Scorpio is about transformation. Scorpio is about death and rebirth. So, you know, did she feel like she needed to possibly regenerate her family with Scorpio being here? Scorpio is not the best place for 4th house. What do you think, Missy? The 4th house isn't the best place for Pluto. I mean, for Scorpio to be, it can be, you know, inappropriate sexual things in the childhood home, or in her childhood at some point. In her safe place, Scorpio is there. So that's possession, transformation, death, rebirth, you know, breaking things down, right? And Jupiter's there, so it's there to expand it. Uranus is there, so that's another shocking event. Not sure, her father may have been away from the home. So this is more so like her mother, I would say. And Saturn is there, so that is, you know, think of Saturn. Saturn has his rings, right? He has, if you think of Saturn, if this is Saturn has his rings that go around him. So he is encaptured in his own rings, okay? So he represents restriction, okay? Having Saturn conjunct your IC line like that, right next to Pluto, her childhood home was restricted. You know, it wasn't easy for her at home. Having Saturn that close to the IC line is not the best. Now, you guys know I'm still new at astrology, so keep an eye out for, you know, maybe Missy can do her chart, and she could probably tell you a lot more than I can. You know, keep an eye out for the professional astrologers that might be breaking this down, because I might miss something, but I'm going to try to do my best to tell you everything that I see. So with Libra ruling her 3rd house, that is the sign that rules the 7th house, so that's relationships, okay? And so we have, in her relationships, there's Medusa there, okay? So that tells me, and it's next to Pluto, which is about control, sex, okay? RAPE, okay? That planet rules that. And this planet can be like controlling, do what I say, right? Just, it's not good, okay, for her younger years. This is not good, okay? Having Medusa, Pluto, a planet of that can represent power, control, obsession, and RAPE. With Medusa there, I have DNA there, so there's probably some type of proof that she had that had her DNA on it about sexual assault. Okay, and then I took the asteroid Ophelia, which is another asteroid that represents unaliving oneself. Ophelia, she went insane, guys. Okay, Ophelia's story is pretty dark. She was mentally unstable, and she ended up drowning herself. Okay, so I mean, if you think about it metaphorically, when you talk about Greek mythology and one drowning themselves, hey, Seeking Serenity, it's good to see you, sweetie. You think about someone drowning themselves. Sorry, I'm not really looking at the chart. I'm just trying to get it all out. Because we'll be here a long time if I don't. I'm trying not to get distracted, guys. I try to not jump all over the place, but I probably will jump all over the place. But just bear with me. Okay, so Ophelia, she did she did unalive herself, 4th degree. That represents her safe place, her security, her home, and a place where she feels safe is where she feels like she's drowning, okay? So think about it. Relationships with other. 3rd house can rule trafficking because it's travel, okay? The 9th house can also rule overseas trafficking, and I have Persephone in the 9th house. So, this is like travel, childhood, school field trips, things like that, right? Your schooling ages, transportation, communication, rules like the internet and things like that, and travel, okay? So I have Medusa in here and Pluto, which represents sexual assault, okay, in relationships at a young age. Over here is like when you're a little older, but it also rules long distance travel. Okay, this is long distance travel, and look who's in there. I have Persephone. Persephone was kidnapped by Hades and taken away, taken underground and hidden. So think about it. And Mars, Aries never raped anybody. Let me just get that very clear with you guys. Aries is the god of war. He himself never raped anybody, but he did kill people who raped his daughters, okay? He did kill someone who raped his daughter in the Greek mythology. However, Aries himself, he never raped anybody, but his planet represents Mars, which rules the phallus, which rules the, masculinity. She has a lot of masculinity in her chart, actually. But, this can also represent aggression, conflict, and it can also represent rape, okay? And I have Persephone there, which to me just kind of confirms that she was taken, sexually assaulted, and long distance travel, taken to an island and hidden away, with Aries there, passions, desires. He is, like I said, he's the male phallus. He's the 2 rams bumping heads, right? And he's passion and desires and taking action. And he also can, on the negative side, he can rule conflict, aggression, control, and he can also represent sexual assault. And Persephone was kidnapped and hidden. So there you go. I mean, this is pretty... I definitely think she had something done to her, okay? Like, I don't think she's a liar there. I know there's all these rumors going around about her. She was in a bus accident or something, and she lied about the bus accident. I did look it up, and the bus driver did come on and say that they had an accident, but it wasn't. I don't think it was bad as what she claimed it to be. But the bus driver did say that they had kind of like they did have an accident, okay? There was some type of collision, okay, in Australia. Now, what I think is what happened to her is that bus accident, like with a person that's been through all this shit already, you know, and their life is very public. Their divorce is very public. With Juno here in conjunct MC, that's her reputation, and her marriage, her relationship, very public. With, you know, Libra also, that's court hearings. That's court with Jeffrey Epstein, court with her own relationships, right? I think that bus accident might have like when a person has been through so much shit in life, that just, even though it wasn't like a horrible accident, it may have triggered something in her brain where she's like, I'm just done. And if you remember, she was in the hospital and she's like, I want to tell my children goodbye, because evidently she wasn't talking to her children either. I honestly think that was a cry for help. I think she may have, in the hospital, thought she was probably going to take her own life. I don't think that someone came and took her and killed her, guys. I honestly think that she was probably, that something snapped in her, and I don't think she was mentally stable. Now, at one point in her life, you know, like I feel like this Venus here with this Mercury travel, that could be Maxine or Maxwell, right? And offering her, I don't know if she's an enemy, because I have Nemesis here, who's basically, that's where we get the name arch nemesis. So there's a female in her life, second house, that's maybe offering her money, somebody offering her money. Mercury, did they offer her schooling? Did they offer her like, oh, we'll pay for your school? She's in the 8th degree, which is sex, the sex organs. The 8th degree is sex, other people's money, and it's, you know, again, the 8th degree is ruled by Pluto, which rules possessions, power, other people's money, doing things that are inappropriate, okay? And Mercury also is a child. It can represent her youth. So did they offer her something here with money? Because it's the second house is possessions and money. And, you know, for her later in life, now if I look at her later in life, this is how she made money with Virgo being there. She may have made money for women, right? So women who were sexually assaulted, because we have the 8th degree. So I can break this down in a couple different ways. I see Maxwell here, but I also see when she grows up, she actually becomes service to others, because Virgo is service to others, right? And how you make money. And this is her talent here. Do you see this? It's not a grand trine. It's a smaller trine. It's not a grand trine. It's a mini trine, right? And it's blue, so that's good. So this is her emotions, her motherly instincts, trying to help others. I think this Neptune trine the moon here. You see this trine, and it goes down to Saturn in Libra. Okay, now just think about this. She starts a company to help other girls fight and speak up. I forget the name of her company, but it was like Speak Out or Speak Up, where she helps girls go to court. Libra is also court. Libra is lawyers. And this is her gift. She is very empathetic to others with Neptune. She's intuitive. She feels other people's emotions, and probably in a motherly way. And because what happened to her directly affects her first house, right? So think of it like that. And then we have this going down to Saturn here in Libra. So I think, you know, this is her talent. She's very creative. She's an empathetic person, and I think that she could feel other victims' pain. I think she could easily relate to other people's pain. So she's also a triple Leo. So, triple Leo here, she has the 11th degree. That's her communication skills. That is how she's able to work in a community, work in a group, and be a leader. So the 11th degree in Leo as her AC line, she is a leader within her community, probably within the girls that were sexually assaulted too, okay? Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, guys. One person I know, his mother was a prostitute, 4th house Scorpio. So that's dark. Okay. Another person with that placement, the parents raised him in a cult. Oh, crap. Really? That makes sense, actually. Wow. Okay. I think she had a very chaotic home life, Seeking Serenity says, while very young and had no control over any of it all. She just tried to survive it. Oh, I told Connie to come. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hello, Connie. It's good to see you, sweetie. Yes, they did all that. Okay. Thank you, Aggie, for helping so much. Maxwell, they offered money, but she also trained her to please and to recruit friends and others to participate. Oh, man. I didn't know that. Wow. So she eventually used this talent of hers, I believe, this little mini trine here, to help other women. Because Venus is here, women that were sexually, inappropriately, sexually, okay. And she ended up making money off of these, well, she made money. I think she made money. Did she sue? Well, she couldn't have sued Jeffrey Epstein because he unalived himself. But, oh, she made money off of Andrew, right? She sued Prince Andrew. And with her son being in the 1st house like this makes her very, very attractive to others. Just gives her a lot of power in her 1st house. Having a triple Leo. So her AC line is a Leo, her sun is a Leo, and her moon is in a Leo too. So, that's her core. Her sun is her core identity. The AC line is how the world sees you. Think about that, right? So, I mean, she's a leader. This makes her a leader in this group that she starts. She's definitely got leadership qualities, and I think that other men would be very attracted to her. When she walked into a room, people noticed her, okay? When she lit up a room, there is something very, I can't know if there's something that's very attractive about a Leo female when they walk into a room. There's something about their hair. There's something about their face. I mean, they rule the lion. They have the lion's mane, and they really do attract a lot of attention, and they have a lot of power, and they have a lot of leadership qualities, okay? Now, if we go into her 12th house here, I do have Nessus here, which is a physical attack. Again, her power of fortune is in the 12th house. We have Mars, which is the male phallus, in the 12th house as well. Again, the 12th house is secrets. The 12th house is doing things that are taboo. The 12th house is, doing human trafficking is the 12th house as well. So, we have in her 8th house of death, we have possible human trafficking, and in the 12th house of endings, human trafficking, cancers there that could be very emotional, and Nessus is really hugging this AC line, so she's really taking on a lot of the qualities here, and it's in the 7th degree, which rules relationships, which rules Libra. So, I mean, I really think, guys, that she was definitely trafficked, okay? They're definitely, I don't think she lied about that. And that's my astrological opinion. Like I said, I might, I'm still new at this. I could be wrong. All right. I don't ever want to come on here and act like I know everything. This astrology, you can ask Missy, it is like an onion, okay? There are so many levels to it. There's so much that I still have to learn. She has Vesta in the 11th house. So again, that's her internal flame. That's her light. Her North Node and Gemini, I think that her, you know, she was meant to communicate and help younger girls. She was meant to work in her group, and that's part of her destiny, to help humanity, to help others. You know, this is friendship groups. This is doing good for the overall humanity, okay? And it rules other people's children as well. And her North Node is there. Now, you can also look at your North Node as part of your destiny, you know, part of your future, your destiny, her outcome. So it makes me wonder, did all this internet communication get to her? Part of her destiny could be that online internet bullying and all that stuff may have actually gotten to her, and it might have dimmed her Vesta, her internal flame. This is your internal flame. These are Vesta the Virgin. If you think about, they were, you know, it's in the 12th degree, so again, that's a Pisces degree, and you know, they were the Vestal virgins. They were buried under the ground. If they were found out that they weren't a virgin anymore, they were sacrificed. So, you know, we have a virgin sacrifice communication that could have been a lot of online internet talk, because this also can rule the internet as well. It may have gotten to her, but I really think overall, with Ajax and Ceres here, 24th degree and 21 degrees, Black Moon Lilith, I really think this here kind of did her in her marriage, her custody battle, her mental health. And I mean, I just have all these asteroids that are showing up in houses that, you know, I mean, you want to look at like the first house, the 12th house, the 6th house for your health. You know, she might have been in pain. She may have been suffering from some type of something herself. Like her body could have actually been in pain with Capricorn there, and she could have felt restricted. Aquarius there, she could have had circulation issues. She could have had ankle issues. She could have had blood clots in her legs. Just something may have been wrong with her physically, because Capricorn rules the whole skeleton, the whole your body. So she could have had, you know, health issues as well. In the 12th house, you can look at death. The 8th house, you can look at death. And I really think mental health here is really playing a role. And I'm not sure if she was on medication, because this also does rule, you know, prescriptions. So, let me see. Let me check the chat. Oops. Oh, crap. I don't know what I did. I just pushed something. Hold on. Okay. Oh, she settled with Prince Andrew. Okay. Hey, Shauna King. It's good to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you guys. Sorry, I don't look at the chat a lot when I'm doing this. Okay, so that's just her natal chart. I wanted to also look at Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells. So if you guys want me to break down her death chart, I will. But, I mean, just looking at her natal chart, let me see if I can pull up transits. Just see if I see anything. Well, this wouldn't be the day that she died. These would be the transits as of right now. So the transits are the planets that are going against her natal chart, right, on the outside. So this isn't the day that she died, but it can kind of give me, yeah, so Ceres is here. Ceres moves kind of slow. Saturn moves slow. I think she was physically in pain, mentally in pain. Her custody battle really got to her. I wonder, there's Nessus is here in the transiting, but I don't know how fast Nessus moves. Does Nessus move fast, do you know? Hey, Astrology from Mystics. That's Jen, everyone. Hey, it's good to see you. Hey, I wanted to let you know, Missy and I were wanting to talk to you about Summer's case. Missy, you know, has been working on Summer's case for a really long time, and uh, maybe you guys can message, because it's Missy has honed in on a suspect that I can't really give out that information, right? Like, because Missy lives around where you live. Like, you guys all live in the same state, and she's just nervous to talk about his name, but you know, I'm not as knowledgeable as you guys, okay? So I told Missy to contact you. Okay, Jen, I'm like, you should call Jen. Uh, I just think that you know, I mean, I have mapped out Missy's suspect. He shows up on Summer's astrology. Here, let's take a look at Summer. Um, One second. Can you guys see okay? I know I don't know how to share my screen because I locked myself out of my stupid computer because I'm not very bright. But I hope you guys can see okay, or at least get an idea of it. Let's see. Let's pull up Summer. So Missy's suspect, you know, and I've been talking to Missy for a really long time. Where the hell is Summer's? Oh, here it is. Okay. And, you know, I just think that I might not be knowledgeable enough, but I have mapped him out, right? And he does show up conjunct, like, you know how I always pull name placements? Yeah, so I want you guys to talk. I'm really not good at this. Hey, Kelly, it's good to see you. I'm really not good at this. Can you tell? So, Jen, I want you to talk to Missy about Summer's case, because I'll just tell you he's out here around Christian Bend, okay? And it's really close. And on the astrology, he shows up conjunct Don Wells. So I'll take like his name asteroid, and then I took Don Wells' name asteroid, and they are only 2 orbs apart. So that's why I think that there is a connection to the Wells somehow, okay? But again, I can't really say who he is. I don't want to make anyone unsafe in Tennessee, okay? So, Missy, you said that you had a road that you wanted me to look up. Missy recently did a spirit box session for Summer, and 480, Highway 480. Okay, so this weekend, Brandon, Don, and David are all in transit. See, and I have, you know, Brandon, he maps out, and Brandon is not far away from Missy's suspect, so it's really weird. With Jody Sue? Okay. Not that I'm saying Brandon Lawson is guilty of anything. Remember, guys, all suspects that we talk about on this channel are always considered innocent until proven guilty, okay? So, 480 mentioned twice. Okay, so I'm just going to say highway 480, Rogersville. Let's see if it pulls it up. Tennessee. TN1, Highway Department, Clarksville, Tennessee. Does it go through Clarksville? No, it wouldn't. That's way far out. Let me see. Let's see what it says. So this is coming up as 11 West, or 11W. But let's just see if it runs through anywhere else on Summer's map. Not really. Let me see if I can find 480. Does 480 turn into 11? Do you know? 480 Luttrell is close to Knoxville. Okay. Let me try that. Luttrell. And she got this information over a spirit box session. So that's why I'm interested in it. You know what? It goes near, like, Jefferson City, Morristown. It's near this one, you know, one planet that I'm always interested in. Because a lot of stuff keeps coming up around it. Has anything come out about the cemetery for Summer Wells, guys? Anything new? Yeah, I never have agreed with this Hammonds over here, the Hammond brothers being on, you know, the Sun line. It's always, you know, an older male, son, someone older than 29, usually. And I've never been okay with this Chad Arnold here. Now, of course, I'm not saying that they're guilty of anything. I'm just saying they're really close to some lines. I mean, this goes right through the backyard of Chad Arnold, too. I don't like that. A random Addie, and I'll try to look it up. Okay. Pulled up Inglewood on 480. Okay, let me try that. Inglewood 480. It comes up with an address, County Road, Inglewood 480. Let's see. Okay, here's 480 near Martin Gap. Thank you, Karen. Let's see how far away it is. Okay. I'll try to look up a random. Let's see. Don B said Ellie was at Old Beach Creek store. Really? I've always been curious about that store. Do you have people disagreeing with certain... Karen asked, do you have people disagreeing with certain... Hold on. Sorry. So you guys can see. Do you have people disagreeing with certain in the cemetery, like Jody Sue and a few others, but as far as I know, Prayer Garden put a tip into TBI. Google said... You know, Highway 480 in Tennessee. The search results mentioned the Great River Road in Tennessee, which is scenic byway that runs along the western coast from the Kennedy border to Memphis. Okay. All right. So is it this one here, this 480 Gap Road? I mean, it does go right by this line here. If I push this line out, it's close. It does cross over this road here. So yes, it crosses over. And I believe, is this Summer's asteroid? I think this is Summer's asteroid. So, oops. Okay. Bean said, Karen A says, sorry if you guys can't see, I'm trying. Let's see. Bean said that Candace called Marlena, who showed up with Chad Arnold at the end of Fred's driveway. Now, I do have an Arnold in the first house. I also have a Roy, an Arnold, a David, a Pete, a Clark, which doesn't mean that they're guilty of anything. It just means that they were either nearby, close by, or directly in front of our victim's face, because it's all in the first house, which rules the victim, you know, the immediate area around the victim, or that they're in that area, okay? How about Jason Arnold? I'll try to look up that asteroid, Jason Arnold. But I do have an Arnold in the first house. Okay, Astrology for Mystics with Jen says, Giuffre Junior lines go over that store. Tennessee does too. I am very interested in that store. I've always had a hit on it. Even, you know, I don't claim to be psychic or anything, but I get tinglies around that store. And I don't get that often. Be interesting to see what comes of the search around the store. 2 ponds there as well. Okay. There isn't a Highway 480. You were just in Gap Road. Okay. Jen, it's a Scorpio line. Ah, the abandoned store, that is. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then, abandoned. No voice to text, messed up. I said there are people disagreeing, but Prayer Garden put a tip in the TBI. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right. What is the name of that store? What's the actual name of it? Or do we have a name? Maybe 480 is a house number or something. There is a house number for 480. Because that's what came over the spirit box. There was an address that showed up as 480. Do you know the name of the store, Jen? Or the address? Karen says, don't know if it's true. Don't know if true. Prayer Garden or Melina said TBI is trying to find Chad Arnold and someone, I think it's John, and they ran. What? Really? That makes me nervous. Why would they run? You know, and I know a lot of people are like torn about Marlena and everything, but like I don't know. I mean, some of you are saying Marlena is lying and all this other stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to, I have a very open mind. I'm willing to hear all sides, you know? And I just don't think we should completely dismiss everything. I think, you know, we should take everything to heart and then just try to, you know, not judge anyone. I don't want to judge anyone. I just take it and absorb it, okay? So that's how I kind of feel about Marlena, because a lot of you have texted me about her, and I have not pulled her asteroid. I might see if there is one, but I do know that a line does go through Jody Sue Brown's backyard, and a line goes through where Marlena would have been as well. I have a line going right through Chad Arnold's backyard, that's for sure. That's, you know, doesn't mean that they're guilty. I have a line going through the cemetery. Over here is the cemetery. Right through here, right? Where's the cemetery? Here, Morrison Cemetery, right here. You know? Let me turn off the light and maybe make it better for you guys to see my computer screen, because I have a crappy computer. Maybe that's a little better. That might be better because I turned off the light. So here's the cemetery, and we do have a line going through here. We have a line going right through the intersection of the damn road that takes you through to the cemetery. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, the cemetery, it could definitely be a thing, or there could be at one time something was done there. It doesn't mean that she's still there. I think Summer, when they were looking for her, I think she was put someplace. I think she was hidden, and then maybe they came back and did something later. So, you know, we have George here. I think it's the George Bernard's house. I have a line going through their backyard. We have a line going through Fred Hill's. Well, not through Fred Hill's yard. It's actually across the street from Fred Hill's house. Doesn't mean he's guilty. You know, just that. Actually, I don't have a line going through Fred Hill's property. I have a line going through the back end of Jody Sue's property. And Marlena Crawford would be in this area too. But through Fred's property, it's across, like this is where Fred is. So if you look, if this is Fred's house, I do have a line going across the street out in this field. So it's not really going through Fred's property. But it's still, you know, there could have been something hit out here in this field. A scent, for sure. Or nearby. I mean, it is in this pie. All of these neighbors are really in this pie section, which, you know, everyone's a suspect. I hate to say that, but everyone is considered a suspect until proven guilty or innocent, right? I mean, that's how we got to look at it. Marlena lost her daughter, Journey, because... Hold on, let me go back. I'm trying to read. I got to check my batteries, too, because my phone, like, literally dies. I'll check asteroids for Marlena. Okay, great. Chad Arnold and John Long, I believe his name is supposedly, I wanted to be questioned by the TBI, but they haven't been able to find them. Marlena lost her daughter, Journey, because her and her sister were found guilty for touching her. What? Oh, wow. Well, we don't know about that. I don't know if that's true or not, but, I mean, I hope not. Marlene's asteroid is close to number 1010. Okay. See my batteries, how they die. Chad Arnold is the grave digger, and there was a grave open because a man died, and it was buried 3 days after Summer died. I mean, was missing, sorry. And so they suspect that she might be in one of the graves. I mean, anything's a possibility. Anything is a possibility. And I do have a line going through the graves. I mean, it's possible, guys. Anything's possible. And that's another interesting fact about Missy's suspect, because, you know, Missy's suspect... Can I tell them that, Missy, about your suspect, about being involved in construction? Her suspect is involved in construction and would have access to certain equipment that can dig graves. We have a line going straight through Simpson Loop, and this is Saturn and Pluto goes out in this direction, which, you know, rules a skeleton, rules a dead body, and this rules death. And in the line that rules death is connected to where Missy's suspect is as well, way out here on, you know, Christian Bend in that area. So, yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I still kind of am leaning towards that whole piece of candy thing as part of, she may have had an accident and they were trying to cover it up, in my own opinion. But there could have been someone that helped get her out of there or helped them. I don't know. It's very suspicious. Very suspicious. So, there is a 480 Ben Hill Road, Susie Q said. Okay, let's look that up. Because Missy's spirit box, she sent it to me, and you could hear them say 480, but we just don't know 480 Ben Hill Road. Now, this address that I'm entering does not mean that they're involved. Doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean anything. Let's see if they're on a line. Yep, they're close to Redmond. So, yeah, they're close to Redmond. They're near Limestone Branch. So the spirit said 480. That does not mean that they're guilty. Okay, again, but they are in that pie section. They are near a line. So I mean, like I said, if she wandered off, then you know we definitely should be thinking about these lines. If she wandered off, or someone took her. Okay, this Fields Road, I've always had spidey senses about Fields Road. It maps out to a mile marker. It's connected to Summer Wells's asteroid and the moon line. So, you know, I'm interested in this little runoff here for Summer. I really want to know if someone lives back here off of Bell Road in here. It seems like there's a path. It goes off out into here, and then there's this, like, opening here. I don't... This is another mile marker. So, you know, I'm just curious about it. That's all. And I'd like to... I see a path. I just can't quite make it out. Be a very interesting place to hide someone and come back later and move them again. I do feel like Summer was moved. You know, and I do have Fields Road through here. You know, a mile marker and a planet crossing over. It's just... It's interesting. That's all. It's very interesting, okay? That's all I'm going to say. It should be searched, thoroughly searched, in my own opinion. All these little pathways, I mean, you could easily hide someone back here. Easily. Like, later, okay? Like, put them somewhere and then come back later and then deal with them. Type of thing. So, yeah. All right, I wanted to also go over some of the spots for Sebastian Rogers. Let me check my battery. Okay, I'm at 30%. Okay, so let me just pull up Sebastian Rogers real quick, too. Because my spirits have been saying addresses. Like, it's just a spirit box. We're not supposed to take a spirit box as fact, okay? But it's interesting that when you do a spirit box session and they spit out an address and look at the astrology and you're like, what the hell? It matches. So, you know, it's just, with Sebastian Rogers, I talk to spirits and I do the astrology. And sometimes the spirits are giving me areas that are matching out. So the thing that Spirit mentioned was Pickett. So I'm like Pickett's Pond, Pickett's, you know, I really couldn't get a straight answer. I feel like they said Pickett's Pond, okay? But I'm not 100% sure if they said Pickett's Pond. So, and I tried to outline some of the waterways. So there is a Pickett's Pond here, and it goes through the Par of Fortune. So that is an area that the spirits mentioned for Sebastian Rogers. There is another Pickett's way up here. And that's the line of Jupiter. In the crime chart, Sebastian is being ruled by